What's in the knife bag? What's in the knife bag today? Let's see. On today's episode, we're gonna have a little fun today. We're gonna try out these different knives, all from Mercer, but different types of paring knives, utility knives, even a boning knife and a petty, to see which one carves pumpkins easier. Good afternoon, YouTube. Welcome back to my channel, JPM.Cuisine. I'm your host, JP. We're not unboxing anything today. Today, we're just gonna have a little bit of fun, poke a few holes in some pumpkins, and I'll just give you my thoughts. It's almost Halloween, so happy Halloween, everybody. But I just wanted to talk about some of the options that we have here, and let's just see sort of how they perform on some pumpkin carving. So just quickly going down the line, we have the Millennia Yellow. I think it's called the Millennia Colors, but this is the yellow and black 3.5 inch paring knife. It's a X30 CR13 steel. Then we've got the Genesis with a nice larger handles and profile. It's a 3.5 inch paring. It's an X50 CR MOV15. We've got the Renaissance. And the Renaissance is an X50 CR MOV15, but a much different profile from the Genesis. Then we have a Genesis utility with it. Also, I think it's a 5 inch utility, but it comes at the X50 CR MOV15. And then we have one of the stiff boning knives, which comes from the Genesis line as well. And then we have a MX3 petty or prep knife. And these are the VG10 knives, the 3-layer. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into some pumpkin carving. All right, so I've got a little permanent marker here, a little Sharpie. And basically what I'm gonna do is just draw some triangles on the freehand. Okay, so we've got these triangles here. And what we'll do before we go in and start cutting open or cutting holes into the triangles, I'll take my paring knife. We're gonna start with the Millennia, and we'll just see if it has an edge on it. This one has a decent edge. We're primarily gonna be stabbing into it, so we'll start with this one. Let's see. And so, sort of like a needle, I'm gonna grab it. This one actually feels really, really comfortable when you hold it like sort of a pin, so you get a little bit. And this actually I keep in my garnish bag. So with my plating tools and my garnish tools, my tweezers, this is the one I keep in. But let's see. So I'm just gonna make my first incision here. Try to hold it, staying on camera, and just pushing in. Okay. It's got a little bit of flex to it. Oh, it's very, very tough. All right, we'll do it like I normally would do it. Use my thumb as a guide, never cutting towards my thumb. Okay. The worst part is if you accidentally slip and cut yourself, so be very careful if you're doing this. But we're just wanting to see sort of how the knife performs against the pumpkin. Okay, so we have our first incisions, and let's see, I want a little bit off center here. There we go. All right, so we got our first pumpkin cut out. Wasn't easy. This pumpkin feels a little bit dry or tough, but I don't know. I'm not an expert, so, but I felt like I got a little bit more precision. I could get the cuts that I wanted. Honestly, I think that the Renaissance with the Renaissance profile is actually just a little bit thinner, especially at that tip. So I think the Renaissance is gonna have the easiest time going in. But with the Millennia, it's pretty good. It's decently sharp, a little bit more effort, get a clean hole, and you can do some clean out from there, but not bad. All right, let's move on to the next one. Next one is the Genesis. And we'll take our paper. Oh. It's pretty sharp, especially near the tip. work on this one. So the X50 definitely, definitely it's a lot stiffer than the Millennia. So we get a little bit more strength in our cut, maybe a little bit less finesse in our cut, but man, that one worked very well. The rigidity in this knife and that spine is going to give you make it a very easy task to carve out whatever it is you need. So far for me, the Genesis, especially with that nice handle, feels really good in the hand and good weight. All right, next one is the, I guess we'll put these right here. So it's not like we're looking at that, so it doesn't really matter. All right, next one, we have the Renaissance. Same thing, cut in. Renaissance is as stiff as the Genesis. Same sort of steel. Nice. Cutting seems to be doing well. It's a lot finer, so you have a little bit more precision. This seems to do a very good job. Nice, clean. I feel like I can do a lot of carving with this, and I can get a lot of clean cuts with this. And as long as it's sharp enough, very sturdy. For me, I think that one or the Genesis feels good so far. All right, let's go into the utility. So this gives you a little bit more blade, but you get a little bit of flexibility back into it. So if you're trying to cut down, you lose a little bit, I think, of the precision because of the length, but you might get more force on it. So putting the thumb on the spine, pulling through. Oh, that feels good too. There we go. Pushing it through. That one feels like money as well. I didn't have the issue with the flex, but I feel like I can get in there. Does a pretty good job of carving, cleaning as you need. Blade's thin enough. I think that's a winner there too. That's a pretty good knife for doing the carving. All right, let's go into this one. This is more of a unique one. I use this one all the time for boning chicken and tearing down meat, and it's super sharp. It's the stiff, not the flexible one, so you don't have to worry about too much flex in it, and I'd recommend the stiff over the flexible. Same thing, we get a little bit more edge, and again, I can put my finger on the spine to guide it, and we're gonna push down. Oh yeah. You want to be careful with this one because it's sharp enough that if you get it wrong, then you can slip, but you get a lot of length in your cut. Okay. Keeping my hands away from it, just cutting in. So we get the cut. I don't know, I don't feel like I have as much control or precision on that carving out, but I mean, I was honestly thinking that this one was going to be the best for carving. And it's really sharp, it's long. I just don't feel like I have the precision or accuracy of these two, or even of any of the paring knives. So, man, I was really hoping that this one was gonna be sort of the best carver. I know that's not what it's for, but I was just wondering if maybe that tip or that flex was gonna give me, not the flex, but the tip and that length was gonna give me an advantage. It's good, it's just better for boning. And last, and I'm almost afraid to do this because I don't want to ruin the tip, but I'll do it for you guys. We're gonna take the Sanmai. It's kind of flexy, but it's a little bit thin, the petty, and we're gonna just go in. Okay. Oh man, that one's got some major, that's super sharp, so it just slices through. Please be careful if you try any of these out. Keep your hands away from the cutting edge and be careful. Man, that one is like a scalpel. I'll go ahead and show you. Now what I'm gonna do is just basically cut down into the pumpkin just to see sort of how it feels. Okay, so we'll just cut a slice out of each triangle. That one, the MX3, pretty nice. Okay, that one's a little long. Okay. For cutting, having that length is actually pretty nice. Oh, the utility knife though. The utility knife seems like it's all around the best tool so far. Okay, switching to the Renaissance. That's not bad. Paring knives are always key players for any kind of these intricate cuts or carving. Anything for garnish. All right, the Genesis. Oh, that Genesis is, I think last year when I reviewed it, was the best paring knife I tried, and man, that one is still great. And then the Millennia. For that task, they're all really good. I think the winner for me is the utility knife. So if you're carving a pumpkin and you're not sure what to do or what you need, I would recommend having a utility knife on hand. That seems to be one of the better tools for cutting open a pumpkin and getting your precision cuts. Now, by no means am I, like I said, I'm not an expert on carving. I just know what it's like to sit with the kids and to try some stuff out. And I think with these knives, while your MX3 line is probably the best for prep, now I don't know if I would use it in here, and I wouldn't want to put such a huge investment and try to potentially mess up the tip. The boning knife, I was thinking was going to be the underdog, or the, what do you call it, the surprise winner there, just because of the weight and everything, but I think maybe a little bit too flexible with that length. The utility knife though, that so far seems to be the best for this kind of task, and the length gives you a lot of flexibility and a lot of leverage in those cuts. I really like the utility knife. I think the paring knife, if you're just going to do scores or maybe just cut it and you really need to do some intricate cutting, that maybe the paring knife is going to be the best for that. Oh man, that one's super sharp. I've really got this one sharp. Yeah, the paring knives are great. Honestly, I think you can get away with the Genesis utility and the Genesis paring and be perfectly fine. And then with the Millennia as a paring, works perfect as well. It's just a little bit flexible when you're trying to pierce into the pumpkin. Maybe not ideal for that, definitely ideal for other fine things, and that's why this one sits in my garnish bag or in my plating tool set. All right, well, I hope you guys enjoyed that quick little look at the paring knives and utility knives, the different knives that we have, and doing some pumpkin carving. Of course, this isn't a carving that I would typically put. I don't know, it looks pretty cool anyways. I don't know, I just broke it. So, hope you guys enjoyed that. I know Halloween's coming up, so hopefully if you haven't had a chance to carve your pumpkins or you're planning on doing so, you can pick up one of these on Amazon, 2-day shipping, and then go to town and carve your pumpkins. Well, thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. As always, please like and subscribe to my channel. And if you like my content, share it with your friends so that they can see it as well. Always trying to reach more subscribers, and it gives me an opportunity to bring cool things like this to you. And I hope you enjoyed this video. And again, we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.